Hey everyone, Leslie here. If you're new to my channel, my name's Leslie Chandler and I'm a crafty person and a Etsy shop owner. I hope you'll hit the subscribe button. It's either on this side or on this side. I haven't figured this part out yet, but click on the subscribe button if you want to come back often and see lots of craft tutorials and Etsy tips for shop owners. Today, I am so excited because I'm going to actually take you into my craft room upstairs. My husband says our whole house is my craft room, but you don't listen to him. Right. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to show you my craft room. Actually, I'm not going to show it to you. I'm just going to take you up there and show you little parts of it that I have actually cleaned. So I'm going to show you how to make a no-sew tutu. And the reason that I'm doing that right now is because it's almost Halloween. And you can use tutus to make so many different Halloween costumes for your little girls and for big girls like us. I've made them for women and I've made them for little girls, and they're just a lot of fun and they're easy and they're inexpensive. I can show you how to make one for less than $10 for the little girls and maybe up to $20 depending on how much tulle that you have to get for the size and the length that you're making. But anyway, go look at my Pinterest site that I have linked down below in the description on tutu costumes. And just take a look at all the different tutu costumes that you can make from a simple no-sew tutu. All right, and I'm going to show you how to do that up in the craft room. So come on, let's go. So here we are in my craft room in the clean section. I'm not going to show you anything else. So first of all, we're going to talk about the things that we need to get started to make a tutu. The first thing we need to know is the size of the waist, or in inches, of who we're making this for. So be it a baby, little girl, or grown woman, we need to know what size the waist is. And to do that, we need a measuring tape. So the very first thing we need is a measuring tape, okay? And so you want to measure the person where the skirt will sit on their waist. But put that down because we're going to need that information in a minute. Most of the little cake smash outfits I do are for 1-year-olds. And so typically my skirts fit somebody with 18-inch waist. Okay, so we need a measuring tape, a good pair of fabric scissors, a piece of rigid cardboard. This is what we're going to use to wrap our tulle around and to cut it. So I'll show you that here in a minute. Then we're going to need, for a 1-year-old, I would expect to use about 2 of these small rolls of tulle that you see here. I always get mine at Hobby Lobby. And just so you know, it says it's $2.99 on all of these, but this week all of the tulle and ribbon is 50% off. So get it when it's 50% off, and that is every other week. So I always try to stock up on my tulle and ribbon during those periods. I do order some of my ribbon and tulle online, and it's a little bit more expensive than getting it, you know, at the discounted rate. But sometimes I can't find the colors that I need, or different things like that. So I do get, like, my Texas orange is actually a copper color that I get from Amazon, and it's for all of my little Longhorn fans that want a little Texas orange tutu. All right, so you need the tulle, and then you need some satin ribbon, and this ribbon is the 1.5 inch in the width, and so that's all you need. All right, so now we're ready to get started. First thing that we want to do is get our ribbon, and we want to pull it out just a little bit and leave enough. This is going to be your tie, one of your ties. So you want to leave just enough room for there to be a pretty little bow tie at the center of the skirt. So I mark that with my thumb, and then I go ahead and pull it out, and I tie a little knot here. Okay, so I tie that knot. This is going to be the beginning of the skirt. This is the little tie that's on one end of it. So then I want to take this part and measure. I'm going to measure to 18 inches. This is actually for an order I got for a little 1-year-old. So usually those are 18 inches in width. for the 18-inch waist. Okay, so let me measure that with my measuring tape here and show you that. And so I just take it and I go all the way to where it should be. I mark that with my finger just like I did a minute ago. And so now I'm going to tie a knot here. So now I have both ends. And cut that off and leave me a nice little tie. So I have the waist area knotted off. So there's 2 knots. Okay? So that's ready. Now what we're going to do is start tying on the strands of tulle. Alright, so one of the other things that you need to determine is how long you want the skirt to be. And so typically my skirts are usually just right at the mid-thigh level for the little ones, and then I've done longer ones for me and other ladies. You just have to decide. I know that a lot of people make tutus for the marathons, for different themed marathons, like the Disney themed marathons, and they make them really short so it doesn't interfere with their running and things like that. So anyway, that's the 2 measurements you need. The measurement of the waist in inches, and then how long you want it to be in inches. So you would just measure from the skirt where it sits to where you want the length to be. And so once you have that measurement, then you want to cut a piece of cardboard like this so that this is the length of the skirt. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So for this particular one, it is 9 inches from here to here. And this is what I'm going to wrap my tulle around and make the little strands that I'm going to use to tie on to the satin ribbon. So once we have this strand, see how quite a bit here, we're going to tie it to, I tie it to a chair. Some people tie it to some kind of board or something rigid, and they do it by just sitting it on their lap and working it that way, but I just can't do it like that. So I tie it to a chair that has a back like this. So I'm going to pull this over so you can see. Just pull it down. I'm going to change the view here in a minute so you can see what I'm doing, but I tie it to a chair like this and tie a little bow in it so that it won't move from the chair. See? So it's ready for me to start putting the strands of tulle on there. Sorry. So now what we're going to do is cut the tulle into little strands, and let me show you how to do that. So now you can see that I have that one roll all rolled up on this piece of cardboard, and now I'm just going to take my scissors, my fabric scissors, and cut on one of the ends, just one of them, all the way across. And so now we have these nice little strips that we're going to use to create the tutu. I'm going to hurry up and do that other roll, and then I'll show you how we put it on to the satin ribbon. Alright, sorry about the weird angle here, but this is the only way I could get my camera so I can show you how I'm going to do this. Alright, so what we do is we pull up several strands. I've got 4 here, and make them even, you know, on the ends, and then fold it in half so that you have it like this. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to take it and you're going to loop it like this. See, here's my finger, here's the 2 strands, and you're going to pull those 2 strands through with your fingers. Just make little pinchers like that. And then pull it through, and then pull it taut or tight. So there's the first strand. And you're just going to keep doing that. I'm going to get me some more here. See? So I have it equal. Put it in here. Get your little pinchers and pinch it through. And sometimes you have to help it a little bit. Pull it tight and then push it over. And you want to keep pushing it over so that you can get the skirt nice and full. Do a couple more, and then I'll just spare you having to watch every single strand. I've gotten pretty quick at this, but I'm quicker at it if I'm standing up and not in this weird position. Alright, so it is coming along. As you can see, we're getting closer to the end here. Do a few more strands for you. I always kind of fluff as I go along. One thing I do, I don't know if it seems to work, is make one strand with about 4 or 5 and then the next strand with about 3. So you have alternating levels of fluffiness, and it just seems to really make it fluff out more. Alright, so you can see that I'm almost to the end here. There's my knot. For this particular one, or for this particular skirt, I did have to use 2.5 rolls. I just got through cutting up my 3rd roll. And I'm almost finished. I was going to tell you, if you go and look at the Pinterest site that I was telling you about, my Pinterest, where I have all the tutu costumes. So I'm almost at the end here, and I'm about to show you how I trim it up. Once I get finished, I take it off of the chair. Isn't that pretty? Look how pretty it is. You can see how full it is with the extra layers that we used. Again, we used about 2.5 rolls of the small rolls of tulle from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so when I get done, I always set this on a table straight out like this, just flat and straight, so that I can see all of the strands, and make sure to trim off any little pieces that are sticking out unusually or whatever. So sometimes I pull it all like this as I go, so that I can get all the pieces that might be kind of folded up inside, and make sure that everything is pretty much the same length going all the way across. And then the last thing I do is I cut the ends for the bow in an angle. Make sure you can, let's see, cut it in an angle like this. And then I carefully burn the ends with a lighter. You don't want it to look burned, you just want to kind of do it just a little bit so that these ends will not fray. So do both of your ends like that. Well, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this little tutorial on how to make a tutu. Oof, that's a mouthful. A tutu tutorial. The next one that I'm going to do is on the car freshies that you see everybody making now. I had to get me some. I think they are so cute and they're so easy to make. So stay tuned. I'll be doing that one shortly. Have a great day.